we have bets on a budget. The 5 best bets for this week in the NFL for your money. Here we go.
Week 5 bet number 1. Buffalo minus 5.5 versus Jacksonville. Look, Jacksonville's going to play their second straight game in London. That, to me, is a little bit of a problem. And Buffalo's rolling right now. And here's the thing. Buffalo against really good teams can struggle a little bit, right? Especially really good defenses. We've seen that with the Jets, which is weird because the Jets aren't a good team, but a good defense. We see them struggle with Kansas City. Obviously, star quarterback Mahomes, Andy Reid. Spags can get a stop if needed on defense. But against bad teams, or even average teams, like Jacksonville's an average to slightly above average team, they mop the floor with them. Even Miami, who's a really good team, 28-point rout. Like, it's just, they mop the floor with average to slightly above average and anything below that. And I would say Jacksonville's an average to above average team. I think this might be a 2-touchdown game. Buffalo does this to bad teams. They destroy them.
Yes. Like I've mentioned before, they don't play down to the level of their competition pretty much ever.
They're anti-Pittsburgh. They're exactly the opposite of Pittsburgh.
Yes, they are very good, and they are starting to catch their roll now, right? Like, we see it every single year with the Bills, where sometimes they'll get into a little bit of they'll stumble a bit, but then once they catch it, they are hot for pretty much the entire season, and they're just getting warmed up now. Everybody's pretty much healthy. You're good to go.
Yeah, I would agree. Buffalo, to me, is the side at 5.5. A lot of favorites this week, by the way. Detroit minus 9 against Carolina. Look, I don't trust Bryce Young to score points.
I don't either.
They scored 13 against Minnesota. 7 of them were on defense. Like, they put up 2 field goals against Minnesota. Minnesota's defense is terrible. Detroit's defense has been the most improved unit, maybe in the league, you could argue. They went from 32nd last year. They've been serviceable this year. I'm not saying they're great. That's a top 15 defense, though, this year.
Oh, easily.
Easily. You could argue top 10. I like what they've done on the corners, bringing in a couple guys in free agency. And the draft pick, Campbell, up the middle, is playing well, the linebacker. Yeah. Aiden Hutchinson's getting pressure, so they can play. And Jared Goff is the best quarterback against the spread the last 6 years. If you want to make money betting on somebody, bet Jared Goff against the spread. And I like them to win 2 to 3 touchdowns. I think it's going to be that bad. They're at home. Carolina has to travel. Detroit's the side here.
Yeah, Detroit all day. I don't like Bryce Young at all. I don't think he's that great.
I think he could be okay. You're not a big Bryce Young guy.
No, not at all. And against this defense, he is going to get exposed. Not to mention the Lions' offense and all the pieces they have over there. Amon-Ra is amazing. I like the Lions to win.
He might be the most underrated receiver in football.
I think so. I mean, for the
He's
last
up
2
there.
years,
Him, Scary Terry.
Really, starting last year was the year that he broke out, but he was super reliable, and he still is.
And I like Jared Goff, but let's not act like they've him and Scary Terry alike have had some quarterback play that if they were with a star, it'd be different.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's go with the dog and the only dog here. Arizona plus 3.5 versus Cincinnati. I know you're taking Cincy. Even if you are taking Cincy, I do think it's going to be close.
You put this in bets on the budget.
I'm taking Arizona outright here. This is probably the one that you're not going to back. You'll probably back the other 4. I'm taking Arizona plus 3.5. I'm sorry, Cincinnati's not playing good football. I get Arizona at home. Cincinnati has had trouble stopping the run. Arizona can run the football with James Conner. Look, Josh Dobbs can get outside the pocket. I don't trust Cincinnati. T. Higgins might not play. I will take Arizona and the points.
It's almost to the point now where I'm rooting for you to be right, because that would be pretty cool. I mean, look, I think it can be closer than some people think. Cincinnati's got off to a very, very slow start this year, but at the end of the day, it's Arizona and Josh Dobbs. I just don't know if I can attach myself to that.
I will attach myself. Arizona plus
we're writing in Tim's pick on that one.
Yeah. Baltimore minus 5.5 at Pittsburgh. We both went back and forth. Do you take Pittsburgh? But let's be real. They have no chance. They have no chance. They have no chance whatsoever. Baltimore's playing good football. Is there a chance this is over at halftime? Absolutely. I think there is. I think there's a real chance this is over at halftime. At half against the Texans, the Steelers had 53 yards at halftime. Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous. That's embarrassing. That's not even an NFL offense. That's an FCS team playing Alabama has 53 yards of offense at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
And so, to me, Baltimore's going to run right through them, and Pittsburgh's not going to be able to do anything.
No.
Pittsburgh can't stop the run either. Cam Hayward's out. They can't stop the run. Baltimore's going to have 200 yards on the ground and win by 3 touchdowns. It's going to be terrible. I can't watch Pittsburgh. I will not watch this football game unless it pops up on Red Zone. I won't have it on.
Lamar is going to have a field day. I realize that the Steelers get a good pass rush. This week in Houston, they made a comment on the broadcast. I don't know if you were watching the broadcast or if you were watching Red Zone, but C.J. Stroud was getting the ball out in I think he was averaging 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's smart.
So when you do that, there is no time for T.J. Watt to get in the backfield. If you can attack Pittsburgh with timing throws, which I think the Ravens are going to do a ton of, that's going to be huge. And then you have the threat of Lamar, who at any time can pull that ball for, 10 to 15 yards on any given play?
Right, well, the main problem is that Pittsburgh doesn't have the personnel to take away first window throws, right? So the reason that you can get the ball out in 2 seconds is because there's first window reads available because we don't have the personnel to match up man-to-man and take away those first window throws, right? If you can make them try to hit the second, third, fourth windows, then that's 3, 4, 5 seconds in the pocket. That's when those guys get home. But we don't have the personnel to eliminate the first window throws, so that's when you get burned like you did this past weekend.
Yeah.
It's bad. And finally, let's finish up with yet another favorite, San Francisco minus 3.5 versus Dallas. I know Dallas's defense is good, and Brock Purdy, I think we're all waiting for him to have the game where you're like, oh, Jesus.
Where he's either going to explode or he's not, yeah.
No, I think we're waiting for that game where, like the Kirk Cousins 3-interception type game from Brock Purdy. I'm just going on a limb here and say I don't think he's going to have one of those games where he just explodes and loses his team the game. Christian McCaffrey can run the ball. I mean, look, if you're going to attack Dallas, it's going to be on the ground. What is Shanahan's offense? It's a power run scheme.
Yeah.
Debo's going to get carries. Christian McCaffrey's going to carry. Elijah Mitchell's going to carry the ball. They are going to run the ball 25, 35, 40 times. Brock Purdy's got to make, 18 throws? I'll take Brock Purdy to make 18 throws on 3rd and 1, 2nd and 4. Like, on those downs, Brock Purdy's going to be great. And they're going to run the football and win. I think it's somewhat close, though. I think they'll win by 7.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think this is a tough one. I know that San Francisco is significantly better, in my opinion.
Significance is a strong word, but I think they're a much better team, yeah.
I just think, I don't know if, I'm not going to trust Dak and the Cowboys to keep it close here.
It's the Cowboys. I mean, why would you ever trust the Cowboys?
I can't. Like, I was
They're
thinking about
tell you it's their year.
the
It's
other
not gonna
side
be
of
their
this
year.
line, and I would be sick if I was taking the other side of this line.
I mean, you get the hook, but do we really think that Dallas is, a field goal away from being San Francisco?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
Not at all. Run it back through.
All right, Buffalo minus 5.5 versus Jacksonville. Detroit minus 9 versus Carolina. Arizona plus 3.5 versus Cincinnati. The only dog on the slip here. Baltimore minus 4.5 at Pittsburgh, and San Francisco minus 3.5 versus Dallas.
Good stuff. Bets on a budget for Week 5. There they are. Go check them out. Go to the favorite sports betting app at DraftKings, a FanDuel, BetMGM. Throw in these bets.
Rivers, which we figured out that they have an app.
Rivers, Barstool Sportsbook. There's a lot of them out there. Go look for these lines. What are these are all Fox Bet here.
Fox
Bet lines.
Bet, most of them. Yeah.
So go check those out, guys. Going for another winning week. But